Why do we have a downward sloping demand curve? We're going to look at some formal reasons. Why is it when we raise up the price, the quantity demand, it goes down? We're going to look at some formal reasons. There are 3 reasons why the law of demand holds. The first one is this. If you want to explain the downward sloping demand curve, first reason we have is something called diminishing marginal utility. So diminishing marginal utility, and I'm going to explain this because it might be very foreign to you. Diminishing means decreasing. Marginal means extra or additional. Utility means pleasure or satisfaction. So this is decreasing, extra, satisfaction. One reason why the law of demand holds, decreasing, additional, pleasure. Let me explain that. Let me explain this with an example. Let's say tonight when you finish class and we're leaving, let's say we notice a guy standing out there selling hot dogs. It's the good ones too, the ones with the bacon. She's cooking up onions. We don't know how he got on campus, but he's right there. And he's cooking these hot dogs and he's selling them, and he's selling them for $1 each. Let's say that's the case. So he's selling them for $1. Now let's say you're very hungry. Yeah? You're very hungry. You go out. And Jason, let's say you buy one because you're very hungry. You buy it for $1. And you buy this hot dog and you eat it and it's delicious. But remember, you're very hungry. So you buy a second one. And then you buy a third one. And then you buy a fourth one.
Come on, stop.
And then you buy a fifth one. Now let me ask you this. Suppose the guy's watching you. And for the 6th one, he says to you, if you buy the 6th one, I'll sell it to you for 5 cents. Would you buy it?
Yes.
There's no shame, I would buy it too. I don't care if there's hot dog coming out of my nose. What about if it was still $1? Would you buy it then?
No.
That's diminishing marginal utility. What it says is, as you consume more and more of a particular product, you want less of it. That's just how we're designed as humans. As you consume more and more of a particular product, you want less of it. The only thing that can motivate you to buy more at higher quantities is if the price drops. It's almost like a psychological reason why the law of demand holds. He did not even hesitate. He said, yes, I'm going to buy it. The idea behind diminishing marginal utility is this. As you consume more and more of a particular product, you want less of it. What motivates us to buy more at higher quantities is if the price drops. So it's a very good psychological reason why the law of demand holds. If you want to know, then give me a note. It says, as you consume more and more of a particular product, you want less of it. So price has to drop at higher quantities to motivate us to buy more. That's the idea behind diminishing marginal utility. Why is there an inverse relationship between price and the quantity demanded? Why is the demand curve downward sloping? What explains the law of demand? That's the first reason. Now here's the second reason. The second reason why the law of demand holds is something called the income effect. The second reason is something called the income effect. Now here's how this works. Let me give you a scenario. Let's say you have a job, and this job you earn $10 a week. Not a very good job. Well, let's say that's what it is. You earn $10 a week. Now every week when you get your $10, this is what you do. You get your $10 and you go to the grocery store. Let's say you go to Ralph's and you buy a banana for $5 and an orange for $3. You get your $2 change every month. Every week, I'm sorry, you do this. You get your $10, go to the grocery store, buy the $5 banana, the $3 apple, get $2 change, and leave. Miriam? It's Miriam? Let's say 1 month, 1 week, I'm sorry. You get your $10. And when you get your $10, you go to Ross, because remember you always do this. And normally the banana is $5. Let's say this month, I keep saying month, this week, the bananas are 50 cents. What do?
Like 100.
You're gonna buy
as much as I can.
You're gonna buy much of what? The bananas?
Yeah.
You're gonna buy some more bananas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta save them.
I would buy the same amount of bananas and just buy something else with it.
Live a little, yes?
Yeah.
Maybe buy some grapes, another fruit. What's that? What did somebody just say? Somebody showed it something at me.
I said ice cream.
So you're gonna buy more bananas, people living it up buying ice cream. Is there anything else you would do? Yes.
Buy like what you can consume within that week, and then like you still have excess, so why wouldn't you like use that for another week? Or, like,
So save up the money.
yeah.
Okay. Now let me ask you something. The amount of money that was given in terms of income per week, did it change?
No.
It's the same $10. But I want you to notice what's happening in terms of options. Options are widening. The price of the good went down. You're buying more bananas, you're buying ice cream, people saving. That's the income effect. When there's a change in the price of a good, it affects the purchasing power of your income. When your purchasing power is affected, then you can buy more or less stuff. When that happens, that's the income effect. In this example, the price of a good that you normally buy was cheaper. So your $10 can stretch more. That's why you were saying buy more bananas. That's why you were buying ice cream. That's why you were saving the money. So the income effect says, if you want to know it, the price of a good, so as the price of a good changes, it affects our purchasing power. As the price of a good changes, it affects our purchasing power. What I mean is, for example, lower the price in the example that we just gave. This is going to lead to an increase in the purchasing power of our income, which means we buy more stuff. When you are doing the income effect, do not tell me, and when I get more income, the income did not change. In the example we just did, it was the same $10. It's the price of the good that's changing the purchasing power of the income. So there's no change in income. Price of the good change, and that affects the purchasing power of the income. You could flip this around. Raise up the price, and this is going to lower our purchasing power. If the price of the banana in that example had gone up to $10, then the only thing you could buy is one banana. So, increase the price, lowers our purchasing power, so you buy less stuff. That's the income effect. That also explains the law of demand. That also explains why the demand curve is downward sloping. You have diminishing marginal utility, you have the income effect, and here's the last one. Last thing that explains the law of demand, the downward sloping demand curve, and effect. So the last thing is the substitution effect. So this one says, as the price of a good changes, this leads to consumers substituting and finding, let's say, cheaper alternatives. And I'll explain this a little. The substitution effect? Not really. I'll explain. So it's not like you're looking for a substitute like Pepsi and Coca-Cola. It's slightly different. I'll explain the difference in a minute. What's driving the substitution effect is a change in the price of the good. So think of it this way. You have your income and you normally buy A, B, C, D. When there's a change in the price of a good, so you normally buy A, B, C, D. Let's say A gets cheaper. What you do is you do a mental substitution in your mind. Because A is cheaper and B, C, D did not change, to you, A now looks more attractive. It's a cheaper good in comparison to the other stuff that you normally buy, so you buy more of it. So it's the price of the good changing that's leaning you towards a substitution. You normally buy A, B, C, D. Let's say A now gets more expensive. A is now more expensive, and when you compare that to B, C, D that you normally buy, A looks less attractive to you, so you move away from it. That's the idea behind the substitution effect. So it's not a clean substitute. It's saying when there's a change in the price of the good, you the consumer do a mental substitution. If it gets cheaper, then it looks more attractive to you in comparison to everything else whose price did not change. So it's cheaper, you say, okay, that's cheaper, and I normally buy these things, they didn't change, so I'm gonna go buy more of that. It gets more expensive and you say, hold on, that's more expensive in comparison to these other things that didn't change, so I'm gonna buy less of that. That's the idea behind the substitution effect. It's you, the consumer, looking at the price change and doing that kind of mental substitution. That's the idea here. It's the price effect that's driving it. 3 reasons why the law of demand holds: diminishing marginal utility, the income effect, and the substitution effect. If I ask you anything about the downward sloping demand curve, I'm expecting these 3 reasons. If I ask you anything about an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded, what explains that, I'm expecting these 3 reasons. If it is you're trying to explain why the law of demand holds, these 3 reasons. So everything about the shape of the demand curve and the law of demand lies in diminishing marginal utility, the income effect, and the substitution effect.